Hello everyone, welcome to the YouTube Mile Builders Thursday Night General Hangout. Thursday's hangouts are for the general discussion on mile railroading that we all can set a topic to discuss for the night. Thursday's hangouts are the proud sponsor of the Tuesday night presentations, the YouTube Mile Builders, eMag, and the YouTube Mile Builders live show. I want to say thanks for everybody joining in tonight's show. And here's your host for the night, Johnny Reb of Southeast Rails. Howdy, howdy, howdy. Well, alrighty. Yep, my viewer's spinning. When's he going to kick in? Oh well, everything shows us good, so we'll go with it. And while I've got the mic and can get a word in edgewise, we'll let you guys know part 2 is coming up this Saturday for the DCC++ build. That's with Chris and Robert. They're going to do the final build on that. That's getting all the software installed and reconfiguring everything, getting it all configured up and working right. So, going to do that. Now there are 2 more announcements. 1 down, 2 to go. Next week was supposed to be the Into the Locomotive Shop. I got a phone call this afternoon. Unfortunately, Joe's work schedule is not going to allow him to be able to do the show next week, so we're moving the show to the week after, which is going to be March 28th. It's going to be the next Into the Locomotive Shop. We'll be doing a post on that. March 27th, that was going to be weathering. Ralph said he needed to take the month off, so we got another show coming up. That's with Mr. Phil Wyman. He's going to do a show on how to make wire trees. Be the main topic, and then he's also going to show what he's done with sedum and some branches or stuff that he's found in the backyard that had good structure and how he made trees out of those. So that's going to be a good show too. Well, I appreciate all you guys coming in. Let's see who all we got in here. We got C&L Lines, Curtis. We got Greg. We got Ari, Ron. We got Railroad Video. Ari's in here. Brian, Stu. Stu just started a new prototypical build, he said, in his post I saw today. Well, he's had the post up, but I just saw it today. And also yeah, there's another post I saw. Joe that does Into the Locomotive Shop, he just has first op session. Posted up a video this week. He was very happy about how it turned out, how it was running. He said they kind of finished up after about 2 hours, and they were doing a little meeting and talking about what was going on and all that, and they wanted to go back and run trains again, so that's what they did. He set up some more and they went back in and ran for a while longer. He's got another one coming up, I think he said May, something like that. So I think Big Bill's going to try and be at that one. So I just had Etherville and Otto jump in. There's Central Jersey Conrail. He said yes, it was a awesome day. Yeah, May 19th, that's when this next op session is going to be, so look forward to that video too. So, what's going on, Jim? You got anything on the table?
I actually have nothing on the table. I just found the top of the table.
You're a table.
Yeah, the computer's on the table right now.
So, did you guys hear about Granite Line yet?
Yeah, they going out of business, so we got to start placing orders.
May 1st, everybody, is the last day they're taking orders.
Oh, May 1st? I thought I heard somebody say something about June.
There's been a lot of throw around about it, but
Yeah.
I read the official email that was posted on Facebook. It says May 1st.
Okay.
Who's going out of business?
Granite lines, they're detail parts between O scale, HO, and N. And a lot of companies out there, they are using their detail parts like windows and doors and everything.
Yeah, they're kids.
So that's going to change the face value of railroading.
Yeah, I hate to see them go, but it'd be nice if somebody come along and pick them up, keep it going.
They are really asking somebody to pick it up.
Yeah. Well, that's pocket change for you, isn't it, Dan?
I wish.
Yeah. Where are they at anyway, you know?
I do not know.
I keep wanting to say somewhere's out towards the Midwest.
I was thinking like New Jersey or something.
I'll tell you here in a second. I'm looking them up. Server error.
Ooh. Yeah, I've been trying to get on their website last night, and there seems to be a lot of server crashes. So if you guys keep refreshing, if you're trying to order something, please keep refreshing the page. That 504 will go away.
Dwight changed the batteries in the hearing aid. It's not Granted, it's Grant. Yeah, I guess they're getting hit hard. A lot of people trying to get in and get some orders, and they're crashing their server. How you doing, Robert?
Good. How's it going, Johnny? Fellas, how you doing?
Hey, Robert.
There you go, Sparky. You see Josh is walking around.
Hi, Josh.
His mama didn't cut him off at the knees. Yet, anyway. Hey, Dwight, how you doing? He just got in here. Ron's Trains and Things said that they're in the San Francisco Bay Area, California.
Who's that?
Grant Lines, one that's shutting down.
I might have to go check it out then.
After 60 years.
Yeah.
I wonder if they have a storefront.
I couldn't tell you.
That one's up in the air.
Yeah, David's over here tonight said Concord, California, so I guess that's a more exact location of where they're at. I know. We'll talk Sparky 107 into retiring and moving to California and take it over.
Dislocate.
He wouldn't have to deal with the snow then. Yeah, Andy's probably at work. wishing he was here.
Oh, that's way North Bay.
Oh, is it?
Yeah, that's more towards Stockton.
And here comes Ron from Australia. How you doing, Ron? Yeah, Sparky says it's too warm for him.
Oh no, man, it doesn't get that bad down here. The highest it ever gets is like 105. That's nothing.
Yeah. Yeah, not too warm.
Yeah, that's nothing compared to Death Valley. 134.
Well, I was gonna say, if I'm not mistaken, Sparky went to Arizona in like the middle of summer.
Yeah, that'd be like stepping in the cooler. Going from Arizona to California.
Oh yeah, by about 15, 20 degrees. David, it's only a dry heat if you're not in Phoenix. As soon as you get into Phoenix, it's real muggy.
But it's dry.
Yeah, but it's still hot.
Oh yeah.
Yeah, wet, dry, hot is hot.
You just don't feel it as quick. Yeah, Lee's been posting stuff up. He's getting more work done on his layouts. Been buying his scenery supplies. Need more pictures, Lee.
I love those trees that he's been buying.
Hey Johnny, when did you say that show with Phil was going to be on with the making trees?
27th.
Okay.
I wish that company would make those winter trees that they've got for HO scale about 6 inches. That'd be perfect for me.
Yeah, Luke Talon just put one out about what was it, gum trees.
Mm. Yeah, I seen that video today from Luke.
Yeah, Luke's a heck of a modeler.
Oh, yeah. Yeah, he does a very good job with that.
I like how he takes that next foam layer just above his base foam, brings it right over the edge of the right up the edge of the wood. Makes it look very seamless.
Yeah, he's going to be one of the ones that I kind of blame for me getting into the hobby more.
I liked when he first started posting videos. He come in, he shrunk himself down, put himself inside a van. Had everybody going, how'd he do that?
I was looking at this latest one. He's got a cricket, a pet cricket, if you guys seen, climbing around the styrofoam. I'm like, wait a second.
He took and did a, gosh, what did he do? He did Moe's Taverns from The Simpsons on his cricket cutter, or his laser cutter.
Well, Josh, you about finished that project you've been working on? No.
It's never done.
You sure were fussing the other day about you wished it was done.
Some days, yes. Actually, a lot of times, actually. And I still gotta put that HO.
Yeah, what was it you were doing? Replacing some,
think about it.
what was you doing? Replacing turnouts?
Putting tortoise switch machines in.
Oh,
and
yeah.
putting signaling. Yeah. Not the funnest project ever. Right now, I thought the problem is now I have this switch machine rewired wrong. It's throwing the wrong direction.
Well, you only got 2 wires to reverse.
Yeah, though, here's something. I accidentally stripped one of the wires came loose from the tortoise, and I restarted with one of the wires on. I started the lead on instead of the second wire. I have to go all the way back to the relay, unscrew the relay, turn it around, and everything. Oh yeah. And my lantern that I normally use under here, the light bulb burned out. I definitely can tell you one thing. My green layout's definitely going to be modular like Andy's. It's not going to be... I think I'm going to probably go HO. I'll definitely go HO because there's too much on tomorrow.
Still in here, Stu. What kind of building are you starting on now? Well, while we're waiting on that, what you been up to, Robert?
There.
Oh, I got the cutout done for this incline here, so I'm gonna go to Home Depot tomorrow, get a sheet of that masonite, see if I can start getting it wrapped over here and ready to finish off.
All right.
Against me. Lead.
Well, you're making leaps and bounds with that progress there, Robert.
Trying to.
Message me.
Oh, Steve Structure says an old hotel built in the 1850s. That'll be interesting.
Message me.
Yeah, Railroad Video said, Josh, you've got too much invested in O to switch to HO. You'll be a O lifer.
No, I actually have HO as well. I'll probably do is just switch over to 8. I'll probably keep the O gauge, but when I get older and I can't see this stuff, I'm as old as John may be older, and I can use that. They'll lay on a no gauge. I won't sell the stuff though.
So what happens after the incline, Robert? Your mic's muted if you're talking.
There it is. Sorry about that. So once I get the incline finished, it should wrap up and finish right here. According to the plan, that's where it's gonna go. But because I can't math right, apparently, I'm gonna have to bring out a 4% riser or starter to finish off and meet it up over here to give me the 1 inch for foam. That's if everything goes well. Otherwise, I might have to cut into this back here and make it fit somehow that way.
Too much.
Alright. Josh, you need to mute your mic.
Oh, sorry. I'll climb up the top. Mute it.
We don't need to hear you talking to your computer.
Okay. Actually, it's my phone, though.
Well,
Yeah.
601, Josh. But see, it might be pretty interesting because if I didn't math this correctly, then that means I'm going to have to bring this incline out to about halfway down the peninsula, which it's all double track, and there's a curved switch right here. So the whole start of this is going to be double track on an incline. So it could get pretty interesting pretty quick.
Yeah.
As long as the turnout doesn't have any flexing in it, it should be fine.
No, it'll all be on the same level. It may be on an incline, but it'll all be on the same.
Yeah.
But I got all the track work down on. I got to work on it still. A couple of things to work out, but I got all the track work down on the bottom deck. So now I'm working on the incline. Once I get all the risers and inclines and whatnot situated where I want them, then we'll start putting everything down permanently or semi-permanently. I'm actually going to use the technique that I saw on Sparky's video about using the skewers to hold the risers and inclines in place. So that way I can pull it all up and save it later for later.
Yeah.
Do you know where the 2-inch incline will stop at when you get up in that area?
The 4%, the 1 inch starter.
Yeah.
Well, it's supposed to stop here.
But it's not.
Supposed to, but I'm not seeing it working out that way. Probably it'll be back here.
And you'll probably have to dig a trench out of that pink foam.
Yeah. So at this point, what the idea is, because I kind of eyeballed it yesterday, I'll have to cut out about 5 inches worth of foam from the face to give me enough room to put my risers side by side. Put my incline side by side. Johnny, this slow mode thing is killing me over here.
What?
This chat.
It's not that slow.
Sounds like Robert's impatient. Come on, chat. Come on, chat.
Well, I threw a shout out to Sparky, and 5 minutes later, something finally shows up in the chat. I'm going, wow, that's a pretty slow reaction time on the chat window.
I mean, I slowed it down. I thought it was just on my end. I only put a 5-second delay on it.
Oh, okay.
5 minute for Robert.
Apparently. Hey, I'm just happy this new internet's allowing me to be in the live shows again.
Yeah. That is the thing. You need to have pretty decent internet. fairly decent computer.
Well, I went from 5 megs down guaranteed to 25 megs down guaranteed. So hopefully that'll make a difference.
Time will tell.
Yep.
All right, Sparky said when I change the speed, it changes for everybody. But I mean, 5 seconds shouldn't be that much. I had to do that the way these guys post sometimes. It gets going so fast I miss people posting stuff.
I was mostly just giving you a hard time, Johnny.
Yeah. Well, they've been talking about it too in the chat.
Oh, okay.
And Sparky said thank you, Robert, for the video shout out.
You're welcome, Sparky.
I guess it just came through.
Apparently.
Don't type it in the chat, just say it. You'll get it quicker. Yeah.
Good old Stu. I'll try and type slower.
Yeah.
Oh.
Well, hopefully, when I start building my layout, the big layout, it'll start working out the way I hope it will. Still working out the bugs right now, as far as the benchmark goes.
Just remember, what is put down on paper or on software is not always what happens in real life. Just be prepared for having to make some snap judgment decisions.
Oh, yeah.
Always expect the unexpected.
That's right.
And don't fall in the trap of insanity.
Well, I mean, we already have.
we're model railroaders. I mean, that's kind of par for the course, don't you think?
Grown men playing with toys, really.
I mean, I wasn't going to take it that far, Jim. Jeez.
Well, I mean, that's what it comes down to.
Yeah, when you boil it down, yeah.
Well, looks like we got a new guy tonight in here, just come in. ATSF Venta Spur N Scaler. Said, hey guys, how are you all doing tonight? This is Tom Pilling. How you doing, Tom?
Hi, Tom.
How's it going, Tom?
And Big Bill just showed up.
The boss is in.
Mr. Bill.
Boss.
Big Bill, late to the party as always.
It'd be nice.
But he does it so fashionably, you know?
Yeah.
Well, he's too busy playing with his new track work.
All right. Railroad video, you asked for it, so I guess we'll give it to you. He said, Dan, tell us about your big picture plans for the layout. I don't see how big they could be being N scale.
So my plan originally was to get a 14 by 40, one of those outside sheds, ones that are prefabbed, and make a 4-level in-scale layout without using helixes. So the bottom layer would be, I've got like 9 towns I'm modeling on 4 levels, and without helixes, it's going to be quite a challenge by itself to make a seamless seam. So at a 2% grade makes the highest will be around 6.5 feet off the ground, and the lowest level will be almost 2 feet off the ground. It's going to have, I'm trying to model in the 1980s era with the what used to be a local short line, the Idaho Northern Pacific, and I'm trying to take it from Emmett all the way up to McCall and include the other branch line that they used to own, which was from Weiser, Idaho, up to New Meadows, Idaho, and include a logging railroad that was built in the 1930s that went from New Meadows to McCall, so that way I can actually have a longer route run. So it'll take at least approximately 45 minutes just to go up one side of the theoretical mountain, and another around 30 minutes to go down into Weiser. And it's going to be based off of the logging industry as well as the grain and fruit industry that was here in Idaho during the 90s. I'm also hoping to allow enough room for the steam era to also run on the track, since around 1950 is when the last steam train was even on this line. So I'm hoping to even also run steam.
Yeah. Well, let's move back up here again because I had a comment or two. Let's see. Yeah, after my comment, Ron's changed the things in scale equals smaller scale, larger layout. And then, let's see. Yeah, Ron's changed the things. Says, so Dan, actually the whole layout is just one big helix. Yeah.
I'm taking a little bit of the mushroom effect is what I'm trying to get from it. That way it's a constant climb up and down. And the only level spots will be the the bottommost level, and the very top level will be the most level areas that you're going to have. The rest of it's 2%. And then there's a small, I think it's going to be around about maybe 3 to 4 feet of 3% grade. But most of the trains that are coming down will be the longest. The ones that are coming up will be light, flat, empty, flat cars and wood chips. So they should not have any problems dragging a train up a 3% grade.
Yeah, you going around?
I'm sorry, you might have.
Go ahead, Dan, or go ahead, Robert.
I'm sorry, you might have asked this. You might have answered this already, but what's the smallest width of the shelves you're going to put in?
Some of the guys on here were saying that my 10-inch shelves may be a little bit too small, and it's starting to look out that way through the simulations I've been running. So it looks like it may be a foot away from the wall. I'm just trying to keep them as narrow as possible to give me as much aisle width as I can possibly get out of the layout. And so far it's working to be around 27-inch aisle width, maybe even 30.
And you're going around the wall, right, Dan?
Mm-hmm.
How are you going to do swing outs or lift outs, or how are you going to do that?
Oh, it's all going to be stable foam. I'm trying to do something like what Andy's doing, to where I could lift the track out, do maintenance, run all the wires underneath. So no, there will be no wires running underneath the bench work because it's all going to be foam. All of my servos, which will be controlled by Arduinos. All the servos will be back behind the backdrop, all accessible. I'm going to run semaphores off of the servos, which will be also be ran by an additional Arduino system. And hopefully all the turntables will be Arduino controlled as well, which I have to build 4 of them, possibly a 5th, if I can find pictures.
Yeah, Dwight's asking how many bridges.
At the moment, I've got at least 5. One's custom. Most of the smaller bridges will actually be like ditch trestles. So I'm going to have more than just the 5. But I'm going to try and build this one nice, beautiful. It's the only worn deck truss bridge in Idaho. It's sitting on the middle bent trestle support is sitting skewed, so that if the river happens to ice up, it won't damage the pier.
River on the layout ice up, you got a problem.
Well, I am trying. The plan is to have the bottom level set in a late fall, just about winter time. Just the first snow is just like a couple of weeks away, and then as you climb up the mountains, of course, you're going to get that little lighter snowfall, like it just got done snowing, and then as you climb up to the 4th level, you have yourself trenches. You've got snow banks on both sides of the track, like a rotary just freshly plowed right through there just to get the line open again. And they've done that. There was a winter in '56 where they reported that the snow banks on both sides of the rotaries were at least 3 feet to 5 feet tall.
Well, Big Bill said that's a very ambitious layout, but good luck to you. Also, ATSF, Tom P. We got a special that's going on this coming Saturday. Will be the last installment of the show, where they're building a DCC++ system using Arduino. You may be interested in watching that. The first part was last Saturday, and then the finish will be this Saturday, and 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time. And these shows are recorded, so you could go to YouTubeModelBuilders.com on YouTube, not .com, but YouTube Model Builders on YouTube. We have playlists, and those 2 shows will be in the specials playlist, so you can go there and watch those and get caught back up. Pretty interesting show. But using this system, it's a little bit cheaper way than buying a manufacturer's system. At a few $100s, you can build this one for, well, Robert, about maybe less than 50.
I mean, if you go with clones like I did, you can do it for $35, $40. If you go with name brand, you're looking at $60, $65.
Yeah, that's not bad, just to get a really good starter system.
And Tim one-upped everything. He's got a touch screen.
That's what Tim does.
Well,
he's almost as bad as Andy that way.
Yeah, he's not using Arduino. He's using Raspberry Pi. A lot different system too.
Well, he's using Arduino with Raspberry Pi with Arduino in tandem.
Oh, okay.
The Raspberry Pi is just running his JMRI. He's controlling everything with Arduino.
Got no touch screens on the Raspberry Pi.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah. That's basically his computer to run JMRI.
Yeah. Yeah, also, Tom, you, what was the amperage on that, 2 amps or 1.5?
Yeah, two and a half, I think.
Okay, 2.5 amps on that DCC++.
Mm-hmm.
So basically, you're kind of limited to running one train with sound on it, possibly two. But you can always add boosters to bring the amperage up if you're going to run a lot of trains, or just have a lot of sound engines sitting there running.
I've actually got 5 powered with no sound and 1 that has sound in it, and that's actually too much for this system to handle. I have to have, if I want to run the one with sound, I have to have pretty much everything turned off as far as lights go and motors go to be able to run the one with sound. So you could, and that's probably because I have 5. I mean, if I cut it down to 3, I could probably have them all on and running no problem.
Yeah, the non-sound ones, yeah.
Yeah.
Plus, it depends on the size of the layout, too, because the bigger the layout, the more amperage you're going to need anyway. Doesn't matter.
Yeah.
You're going to need to put boosters in.
Well, and seeing mine's in a 10 by 12 foot room on 16-inch shelves. So, and I haven't really seen a need for boosters yet. Although as the fleet grows, I'm definitely going to have to get them eventually.
Yeah. Well, even on your layout with the fleet growing, I'd say you're probably looking at just one booster, 5 amp booster. You should be good to go.
I'm probably going to do 2 because I've got the top deck and a bottom deck. I'm probably going to go with a 5 amp booster on each deck, just to be on the safe side.
Yeah. Put in a few power districts.
Mm-hmm. See Sparky's comment, Johnny?
Yeah. It wasn't 15 minutes, Sparky. It was an hour and a half. You forgot the decimal point between the 1 and the 5. No, Sparky, I have not messed with the speed of the chat. Still set at 5, so I think it is. Let me go in here and check and make sure. Yep.
Tom, we're doing a special show right now for the DCC++ system. We had one last Saturday. I believe Johnny's got it archived somewhere. We're doing another one this Saturday, which is the wrap-up. If you have the time, you should check it out, because, I mean, it's literally going to take 30 minutes to start from scratch and get it built up to usable.
Alright, I see we're having a little problem with YouTube again. I just had to hit the live button on my viewer to get caught up in the real time. So if your chat slowed down, go over to the viewer down at the bottom towards the left. You'll see the word live, L-I-V-E. If it doesn't have a red dot, click on it, and the red dot should put you back into real time and not into a delayed mode. If the chat's the only thing they're delaying, I'm good with that. David Elkins said Tim Valley's boosters are ideal for that. Yeah, they make some good boosters. I think they're pretty well fairly priced too.
They're about $50 each if you're only going to get a couple.
Oh, are they?
Yeah, that's the only reason I haven't really committed to buying them yet. I want to see if I can find them cheaper.
You may end up getting away with only using one booster, Robert.
Yeah, it's just a redundancy thing, so that if for some reason it fails on one of the decks, I have the other one to power into.
Yeah.
We got anybody out there in the chat that's already using boosters on their layout? That's something we hadn't really ever talked about, I don't think. So using boosters.
Not that I remember.
That'd be interesting.
Don't say anything. He'll rope you into doing a live show.
Thanks, Robert.
I think I remember that CVP. If anybody knows CVP, they do the Easy DCC system. Their boosters, they have a setting on the newest. I don't know if it's the newest ones now because I haven't been at my railroad club in a long time. But when we swapped over from the 5 amp boosters to a 10 amp booster capable, they actually had a switch on them to where it allowed you to use only 7 amps out of the whole thing, but the 10 amps were there if you needed it. We used like 5 of them.
Yeah.
That's
Bill Bro said he's using a 5 amp booster. I know putting
Tom,
go ahead, Robert.
Go ahead, Johnny.
No, go ahead.
Tom, I'm running Southern Pacific on my layout, but I'm not really modeling any specific spur or region, really.
Yeah, I know the biggest thing is putting in power districts. Makes life a little easier. That way you can put in the circuit breakers. I've got Digitrack system. I'm not using it right yet, but I did buy the PM42 card, which has 4 breakers on it that put out 5 amps each. So that way you can break it down. So like you have one circuit breaker for a yard, one for the main line, one for switching industry. Yeah, one for whatever else. If you got a helix or whatever, you can put one there. Makes life nice because if you get a short on the layout, you can better figure out where it's at by which circuit breaker went off, and it doesn't shut the whole layout down. Yeah, Ron says, Ron Strange and things. I have a 3.5 amp system, run 2 dozen in-scale locomotives, 6 have sound right now and no boosters.
See, I think for HO scalers, you'd have to run, what, a 10 amp system, Johnny, to get that many locomotives on it?
Well, like I said, it really depends on the size of the layout, but yeah, you'd have to have some extra in there. I mean, the only reason why I bought that Digitrack Super Cheap, which is 8 amps, I've been going around to these open houses here with the Piedmont division, and some of these guys I went to, they had fairly large layouts, and of course they had everything running. They had sound engines sitting there on side tracks just idling and sound going, you know, because it was open house. And you see a train go into the back side of the layout and it'd stall out. They'd have a volunteer over, you know, to push it on through. They were talking about dirty track and not having enough power or whatever. And I come across that Digitrack system at a pretty fair price. It's on sale. So I said, well, if they're having that much problem, then I'll just go ahead and snap this one up. But I also got that PM42 circuit breaker. I've had a few people tell me, yeah, you bought the welding machine. You have a loco short out, it's going to weld itself. I said, no, I already, once I hook it up, it's going into the circuit breakers first. That way it's only got 5 amps out. Ron's tracing thing said he has about 600 feet of track total. Yeah, Ari was saying he had 8 in scale with sound and no problems, no booster. Yeah, it depends on size or what all you're running. In scale, I don't think would draw quite that much. HO would draw definitely more than an in scale would. Depends on the load. Just another scale modeler. Hey, Ron, how you doing? We're getting a crowd of Rons in here now.
Now we can actually say Ron's not alone anymore.
Yeah, Bill said, I hate when the train welds itself to the rail. Just hate it. I
remember back when. Go ahead, Johnny.
Yeah, I hate that too. I know we had experience out there at the store. A big layout we had up there, which is 26 feet by 8 feet. A dog bone folded over on itself, and so we got some areas there where you got cuts and all. Train go into, you wouldn't see it. And yeah, one night they were closing the store up. They had the train running, and it had stalled in one of those areas they couldn't see it, and everybody thought somebody else had shut the layout down, so they closed the store and left. Sometime during the night, the train started back up, and it come around and derailed itself. So we found a few cars on the floor. The engine and all still on the track, but somehow or another it lost the car, and as it came back around, it ran into it and got jammed up. So the engine just sat there running, wore the wheels completely out on the locomotive, and just about had the rail cut in two. It wore the rail down. So when I come in, guess what I had to do? I had to replace the track. I didn't mess with the loco. I let them do that one. I had to sit there and replace that section of track. At least it wasn't glued down.
There's one layout I'm going to be sorry to hear that they're going to replace track on is the one that they've got in for the science and industry. That nice, huge layout. I think it was in Chicago. And Model Railroader did an article on it, and when it comes time to replace all that track, that's going to be interesting to see.
All right, Etherville, bro. The Bachmann DCC controller was doing just fine with 8 HO locos, 4 had sound, and 10 lighted passenger cars, and 4 LEDs, and no booster. When I had the -9 Norfolk Southern, I also had the booster just to give more power. Well, you building yourself a studio there, Ron? Just another scale modeler? Yeah, Ralph Renzetti said that Bachman was a 3-amp system.
Well, Ralph's in the chat and he's not over here with us.
He's incognito.
I would say it's because Andy's not in here to disagree with him, huh?
That's no fun.
Hi, Ralph. I'm waiting for that little circle to start going on the screen.
Well, we asked about boosters. What about the power districts? How many people are doing power districts on their layout? What about you, Robert? You gonna put any in?
I haven't decided yet. I think if I'm gonna do that, I'm gonna separate it into bottom deck, incline, top deck for districting.
Yeah. Andy said he can disagree from afar.
Hi, Andy. I'm not going to disagree with you on that one, Andy.
I know one thing we're going to try and do as soon as I start building this layout is try and build my own boiler for one of my steam locomotives, because it got damaged during the move. So I'm going to try something new, see if I can actually do it and build a tender for it. Which that will be interesting on my to-do list.
Yeah. All right, let's see here. ATSF, Tom P. He said, I plan to build a 1960s hair 4x8 foot semi-prototype layout in N scale. On it will run both ATSF and SP railroads with the industries and citrus groves they served in Orange County, California. And let's see, Jim. Ralph responded, "There's always a wise guy in the group, right, Jim?"
What are you talking about, Ralph? That's Dan. Dan's the wise guy.
Oh no, I'm staying out of this one.
All right, Randy's Rock and Roll Railroad. We'll catch you later. You have a good night.
All right, Randy.
And Ron's Trains and Things said, I have short circuit management districts with 1156 bulbs protecting each district, 10 districts on the layout. So I guess there's a lot of people running around town without tail lights, huh, Ron? I can see him now sitting there. I don't do that. I went and bought them. Tom P. My layout's centerpiece will be the ATSF Venture Spur, which connected citrus growers in the, what's that, Irving and Tustin?
Irvine and Tustin, yeah.
Irvine and Tustin. To Santa Fe's main line between Los Angeles and San Diego.
Tom, is that going to be a 4x8 sheet of plywood, or are you going to do it in like a 4x8 foot room?
I think he said 4x8, didn't he? I mean,
Well, he said 4x8, but he didn't specify if it was going to be a 4x8 foot table or if it was going to be on shelves or.
Now he said 4 by 8 foot. So, well, okay.
You get a lot of room out of 4 by 8 in an inch scale.
And the only problem with that is you're going to be reaching like crazy to get to that middle.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Unless you split it.
From experience, I will tell you to avoid that if you can.
Yeah, he said 4 by 8 layout size.
Unless you've got it dead smack in the middle of the room and you can get around all 4 sides, I would avoid that if you can.
Or even at least 2 of the long sides and a short side.
Yeah, Andy was saying Dave Lemke's isn't much bigger or much larger walk-in closet. He's doing ON3 in it. Yeah, he's got a small room. He's doing that ON30 rather. Doing in there.
Ralph, I'm working on it. Give me a second.
He's kind of bossy, isn't he?
Yeah, a little bit. But that's Ralph. I mean, you know.
I like your Ralph.
Ooh.
You learn to love him.
Yeah. Ooh, are you in for it when the show's over?
Oh, you have no idea.
I can hear the tanning now.
Yeah, Ralph's calling up Robert's wife. Hey, guess what? I got a job for you to do. He just happened to be a little bit closer.
I'm going to leave that one alone. I'm not even going to go there.
Thank you. Yeah, ATF Tom, or ATSF, says space is a real problem in his house. So he's having to think about options.
You can get a lot out of a 2-foot shelf.
Mm-hmm.
This is why I say stay away from the 4 by 8 foot table if you can. Mind you, this is 2 slammed side by side in a 10 by 12 foot room, but you'll get the idea.
Did he say what scale he was?
HO.
Okay. You can still get a lot out of a 2-foot shelf.
So on this side, I literally have 2 feet, maybe less. This side I had close to 4 feet. And it was crazy trying to get in and out and doing that stuff and working on that. If you can avoid it, you'll be better for it.
And when Robert,
Johnny,
go ahead.
I'm gonna flip this off real quick, and then I'm gonna pull up the current design.
I was fixing to say, once you quit screen sharing, look at Robert's camera, you'll see what he's got now in the exact same room.
The only problem with that is that the angle is just wrong to really get the scope.
Yeah.
Where did it go? Right there. Oh, wrong picture. That's the bridge.
What really helps is that he doesn't have to contend with that door anymore. For the time being.
So here's the layout design itself. I've gotten farther than this already, but it'll give you an idea. That's in the same room.
Just went white.
Oh. I switched tabs. So I went with a 16-inch shelf all the way around 2 decks with a 40, what was it, 46 or 47 inch peninsula. And then opened everything up down here that I could work and store tools and everything else. Because the problem with that big layout I had was that I had literally no room. And if I wanted to get to my tools or whatever, I had to crawl under the table to get my tools. Oh, it was a nightmare.
What size is that room, Robert?
10 foot by 12 foot.
Wow.
It's 12 foot this way, 10 foot this way.
Hey Andrew, how you doing? Sparky said top looks very high. What's the height of the peninsula?
This up here sits at 62 inches.
That's not bad.
At the top of the foam.
Yeah.
Ron wants a layout inside his dining room table.
I just saw that. That'd be
All
pretty
right, that'd be interesting.
You see the coffee table layouts. That'd be pretty cool as a dining room table.
Did you see that one where the guy built it into his bar? It's on YouTube. It is just amazing. You can run 2.
All right, everybody just lock up on me or what?
No.
No?
Still here.
Yeah, no, y'all locked up for a second. But you're back now.
I know I'm going to have.
Ron Strange the thing said his top deck's 60 inches, perfect for me at 6'2". Not so good for my 5 foot wife. I don't need the caffeine. Andy said his is 56 to 61 on the current deck, and he's just 5'7". Some days 5'6".
It depends on whether or not he's wearing those platforms.
Yeah.
I know I got to watch how tight of my radiuses are, because some of the steam locomotives I'm planning on getting, if I cannot man all of my trains with enough locomotives, I'm going to probably get some mountains and stuff. And the Bachman Mountains, they need a minimum of 13 radius curves. So I got to watch what I do.
Oh, 13's easy to get. It's the 22, 26. Those ones are harder to get to. 15 is easy.
All right, well, we're coming up on an hour and 11 minutes here, so I think we've done a pretty good job. Let's see. Andy said, oh my gosh, don't say that. All right, we won't air this one. Don't want Andy to get thrown out of the house. Alrighty, well, I guess we're going to wind this one up. Josh has already popped out because he had to go to bed. He's got school tomorrow. Yeah. I got something I'm going to do tomorrow I've never done before, and that's smoke a beef brisket. I just bought a flat. I didn't buy the whole thing. So, never done a beef before. I've always done pork and poultry. So that's going to be interesting. Alrighty. Well, I want to say thank you to everybody for coming in tonight. It looked like we had a pretty good show here. Good turnout. Yeah, let's see here. So, we'll kind of bring this one on into a close. Go to YouTubeMileBuilders.com. There you can find the schedules for both the shows during the week. Tuesday and Wednesday shows are at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time. The Thursday show is at 9 o'clock Central, 10 o'clock Eastern time. Don't forget, we got a special coming up this Saturday night, 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time. That's going to be Robert and Chris. They're going to finish up the DCC build. So that way, when everybody gets all their parts in, they'll be able to get them together and see how the system works. It's going to be interesting. Also, we got a little change on the schedule this month, March the 27th. That was scheduled for Ralph's weathering show, but he's taking the month off. I gave him a choice. He could have a raise or the month off. He said he'd rather have the month off, so Phil Wyman is going to do a show on March the 27th in the place of that. He's going to show us how he makes the wire trees, and probably touch on sedums and a few other things that he's found to use for trees. Also, the Joe's into the locomotive workshop. Because of the work schedule, we're having to reschedule that. It will not be on the 21st, that's next Wednesday. It will be moved to the 28th, so it'll be a week from its normal airing, but it'll still be at 8 o'clock Central, 9 o'clock Eastern time. Joe didn't like it, but he didn't have any choice. So, yeah, we told him, hey, no problem. That's what we're here for. We can move it around, just as long as we get something in the air. All right, with that said, nothing else left for this week. We'll see you this coming Saturday for the finish of the DCC++ build. Y'all have a good night.